Hello, let's talk politics. I want to come to you with proof today that the Queen of England is running this country. Now, we know that central banks are usurping this country. They're doing it through the war on drugs. They launder the drug money. That's an openly known fact. They do it with impunity. I'll say it like this: Wachovia got caught laundering $378 billion in 2011, and their punishment was $150 million. First 100, and then they came back and said, "Well, that's not enough. Let's do 50 more million." That's impunity. Uh, and they're doing this for drug cartels and drug organizations. They ship the drugs in. Drug use has gone up. Everywhere drugs are decriminalized, drug use goes down. It's created a destructive culture of violence because what happens is the violence, of course, goes up. But the reason why is because when people have property and it amounts to hundreds of thousands or millions or billions, or if you're just a territorial person, it may be less than that. They resort to violence to enforce their right to property. They can't call the police, of course, because the police will put them in prison for years and years for the manifestation of more violence and more drug use and abductions, and so they abduct these people, enslave them. A lot of times they'll be put to forced labor. So it's a gulag system, and in Texas they just did away with lunches. I heard about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. So they're starving, and if you don't have commissary, you won't get it. There's a lot of bad things that go on inside of prison, and then they also have mind control programs going in Texas as well right now. I probably is going on in different places, but I'm aware of it going on in Texas. Brainwashing programs that were originally implemented in the Soviet Union under the code name MK Ultra. If you read Jim Marrs' $1 Trillion Conspiracy, you can read about it. And you'll have to excuse me, there's a lot of heathens, and it's kind of like a zoo where I'm at right now because I've been talking about this for a long time, drug prohibition. You can go back and look at my videos, this dating back quite a while, but I've been on probation for the last about a month, and I've been dealing with legal problems for about a half a month, and then I've been dealing with it for about a month now. I got caught with a quarter ounce of marijuana in Oklahoma, and they put 3 felonies on me for a quarter ounce of marijuana. That's years and years in prison for the manifestation, abducted, and then potentially was sentenced to. I was actually offered a few years in prison over it for the manifestation of gangs, for the creation of drug use, for cultural destruction. So mass murder. So since it's a known fact. So and basically, basically what I've come to understand, and this is a huge realization for me, is that the Queen of England, of course, in 1776, we fought an overt queen, an overt monarchy, excuse me, at the time. And it was just, they knew, at the time who it was. It was easily diagnosed. Well, they'd come back, and at the time, I think they had a little bit of, subtlety operating through their central banking systems at the time. But basically, what we've come to understand is that what I've come to understand is that the monarchy controls the central banks. The central banks control the world, and so the monarchy controls the world. And of course, it was that way back in 1776. I mean, that was the empire of its time, and so they were the powerhead there. They had a king and all this, but basically, so like in terms of the economy, and so let's just say inflationary usurpation, consolidation of wealth within these, and elimination of competition through just central banking practice, which is in and of itself murder, because you've got people that are forced into say drug violence, or they end up starving, or they're put on the government dole, which then creates dependence on the state, and on and on. And then people think, well, if I get a dole out, then I'm going to vote for a guy who gives me a dole out because I want the dole out. And they don't understand that no, you've been usurped. There's plenty of jobs to go around. Competition in nature creates camouflage. that's a byproduct. So as well, it works very effectively in the free market as well. When you have entities competing within the marketplace, what's done is, efficiencies created, innovation, because we want user demand. And in a way, marketing does, have a deceptive place there, but with reviews, and you've got credible review systems, and these type of things, and the strongest rise to the top, jobs are created thereby, and everybody has enough to survive throughout the entirety of their life, and in fact, everyone is made incredibly wealthy. If you look back several hundred, maybe several thousand years, and you look at what some of the kings would endeavor to, have in terms of luxury. There was a king who sent a ship all the way to the Arctic to retrieve ice, encapsulated the ice, and brought it all the way back so he could have ice at his festival. Well, now I get to go downstairs and just put a cup underneath my refrigerator, and it manufactures ice for me automatically. I'm incredibly much more wealthier than the king was. I have air conditioning. I have, entertainment at my disposal. I have music, at my disposal of much higher quality, recreated over and over again. I'm able to understand what the universe is, that the universe is expanding, through Hubble's redshift realization and things like that. So we're at a time in our history where we are much wealthier through these type of mechanisms than to just simply for somebody to just want control over the population by simply usurping that population is actually detrimental to themselves as well as everyone else. So it very much frustrates me to even have to sit for it, because I don't understand how anybody can even be so blatantly and absurdly stupid, and just what they're doing is they are drinking their own Kool-Aid, because they've indoctrinated society with this whole idea of the fact that materialism is the way to go, and so they've created jealousy and greed, and they've manifested all these things through their own endeavoring, and so they're sitting there believing they're buying into the line. So that could be the only way that this could even be occurring. But basically, what I want to say at this point in time is that well, here's the evidence right here. Basically, yeah, that's what I want to say right now. Yeah, so basically they prepackage the loans, they, and then they give them to people who don't deserve them. They lower the interest rates. Basically, they print reserves in order for the interest rates to be lowered so that the excess reserves can be dumped onto the market. It's given to preferential banks, banking institutions that really aren't banking institutions, just tyrannical front companies. And they extend these loans, then they declare themselves too big to fail. More money's printed up, given to the people who gave it to the people who didn't have it coming in the first place, and that's what they call a bubble. And then some people like Ron Paul, they'll soft pedal it and they'll say, well, there's this sudden realization that the money wasn't really there, when in fact it was known all along that the money wasn't there. It's not like centralization of the monetary system is some kind of haphazard effect that nobody really knows what's going to happen next. I mean, there's people, once you centralize things, that it's a known fact, how this operates. So, it's a mechanism, and so mechanisms have operators, and they understand how to operate the machinery. So, but Thomas Jefferson clearly stated that central banks are more detrimental to society, or more dangerous to society than standing armies. To take a single step beyond the boundaries of Congress is to take control of the balanced field of power, no longer susceptible to any definition. And when he said that, he wasn't saying that you're going to be powerful, like you're just going to have power to destroy things that really destroy yourself too. So more balanced field of power over your destruction. So basically, here's how I've come to understand that the Queen of England is running this situation. Check this out. In May the 14th, 2012, a report came out. I'm going to show it to you right here.
It could have been the simple tale of one friend helping another, except the two in this story are a fugitive Russian oligarch and a cousin of Britain's Queen Elizabeth. London-based Boris Berezovsky has given Prince Michael of Kent more than $500,000 of financial support, raising questions over what a wanted man in Russia wants in return. Ivor Bennett takes up the story.
The two men are said to be very close, but were these payments just a friendly exchange, or was there something more to it? Both sides have been very keen to play down any shady implication here, stressing that everything was above board. Boris Berezovsky has come out and said that there was nothing underhand. He's called it just a matter between friends. And Prince Michael of Kent, who's the Queen's first cousin, their fathers were brothers, his spokesperson has said that everything was conducted properly and all the appropriate tax was paid on these payments. There were 56 payments made in total over the years between 2002 and 2008 to one of Prince Michael's offshore companies, amounting to a massive £320,000, so over $500,000. And serious questions still remain over these cash payments, such as what was the money used for and why was it needed? Neither question's answered so far by either party. Berezovsky's lawyer, however, has said that his client neither sought nor obtained any benefit from this friendship. However, it's certainly worth noting here that Berezovsky, at the time of the first payments, was and still is on the run from the Russian government. He used to be one of the country's richest men. He was highly influential, but in 2000 he fled to the UK after an investigation was launched into his assets. So whilst he was seeking a political asylum here, he was actually convicted in Russia in absentia in 2007 for embezzlement. He's been living here ever since, and obviously it was in his interest that he should be allowed to stay in the UK despite numerous extradition requests from Russia. Now, he said that there was nothing in it for him, but the fact that substantial cash payments were made to a member of the royal family here, it certainly begs the question, why were these payments made?
Basically what you just saw was, okay, Russian oligarchs receive an amnesty from the Queen of England for, you know, cash payments to her family, and they're fugitives. So there you go. And so this came out May 14th, 2012. The following day, okay, so Russia Today is a widely broadcast station. It's received some on the East Coast and then as well on the internet across the nation. Okay, the United States is world reserve currency, more gross domestic product than any other country in the world. In fact, I saw a 2000 almanac, that's 13 years ago, but at that time the gross domestic product of the United States was greater than the top 10 leading GDPs of the world combined. So you know, first airplane, first automobile. I mean, competition works. So anyway, so you know, we did have a constitution too to protect ourselves from the Queen, and we had history to learn from, you know, through the Romans and different kind of things. So and then their crash too. But either way, so the following day, man, this is crazy. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, so this was obviously something that the Queen of England didn't want people to know. You see what I'm saying? You know, how her country is just literally just this vast tyrannical arm, you know, and you know, just giving, you know, I mean, seriously, just see, here's the thing, here's the problem with it, for her, for them, for the monarchy. If you find out that the Queen is in control, it's not just vestigial. See, that's the whole idea, is that the Queen is vestigial. We just like having a queen. We just give money to the Queen, and the Queen just, you know, is a symbolic of our history and all this, because we want people to believe that, you know, it's just a kind of a ornate thing, and we just kind of like it. You see what I'm saying? When their Congress literally once a year has to go to the Queen, who then tells them how everything's going to be, and she walks in this huge purple robe and a gold thing on her head, and just, I mean, it's sick. So either way, you know, bowing and scraping before the Queen doesn't look good in the first place, in my opinion. But that's what they say. So this is something that they don't like people to find out. Well, the following day, okay, in the United States, Katie Couric, okay, got an interview with both princes. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's not normal. I mean, it's usually one or the other, or but the following, and this was headline news, okay? I mean, the following day. Do you see what I'm saying? It was like, bam, it was like big time news. Katie Couric, it was Drudge Report. You see what I'm saying? The following day, Katie Couric gets both princes. It's like, that was the line. That was what came on the Drudge Report. Both princes. You see what I'm saying? Not just one, but both. Do you understand? And there you go. I mean, this is a cover. This is cover. Okay? This is cover. This is propaganda. This is soft pedaling. This is everything's okay. Everything's okay. You know, we're just over here. We're just nice. We're just nice. You understand? When the Rockefellers were publicly funded by the Rothschilds, who fall underneath the Queen of England. It's a bank. It's a central bank of England. Okay? And they're doing the same thing over there that they're doing over here. And so over there, it's just kind of like normal. It's like, wow, okay, we're getting raped. And then when the people have had enough, they just start rioting in the streets because they know over there, you know, we're getting raped, and this is, you know, nobody's going to listen to us unless we get out of here and start literally rioting and catching stuff on fire. And they do that a lot of times. I mean, they'll just get out in the street. It'll just be a riot. And the cops will just stand down, and the people will just be literally just, I mean, it gets crunk over, I mean, excuse me, I mean, for lack of a better term, I mean, it gets rowdy, okay? I mean, I say that because I get excited about it, but I shouldn't, because I'm feeding into the whole mindset of gangs, and it's cool, and it's cool to be mean to people, and it's cool to get on board with, you know, ruining life, and it's cool to shoot people, and it's cool to do drive-by shootings and not even know if you hit the guy who stole money from you because you couldn't call the cops and get your property back, you know? So, anyways, it's not just a coincidence, okay? And I want you to think about this, okay? Do you really think it's a coincidence? Okay, do you really think it's a coincidence that the next day, Katie Couric gets an interview with both of these princes, both of the princes, and then shows up on the Drudge Report, big screen news. Katie Couric gets both princes. You know, it's like, hey everybody, yeah, we're cool, guys, we're cool. We're, you know, punch you in the arm, a little soft. We're pals, right? We're pals. You know what I'm saying? While I'm raping the hell out of you. No, we're not pals. I like to literally knock your teeth out. And another thing, you know, you look at like what the Rockefellers have done over the years. This is stuff that's on record. Wall Street built up Nazi Germany. Our President Bush's grandfather, on record, laundered funds for Nazi Germany, and then attempted to overthrow the United States militarily and set up extermination camps in the United States and led it. According to the BBC, he led the coup. And if you listen to other journalists, they say extermination camps would be implemented in the United States. That's what a lot of people don't understand. This has been attempted in this country, and there was one man who stopped it from happening, Smedley Butler. If it wasn't for him, we would have had extermination camps. We would have gone through all that stuff. So people shouldn't be so shocked and dismayed when they find out, wow, somebody wants to kill me. It's like breaking your back. They want to break your back. You understand that? Make you subservient. Make you feel like this is okay. That's what it's about. Because they don't, I don't think they really just want to round you up and murder you and just like get off on it. I don't think that. I think they want you subservient, and the best way to do that, in their opinion, is to murder the shit out of you. You see what I'm saying? I mean, this has been going on for decades, for centuries, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Hundreds of years in Europe. You know, you look at like Vlad the Impaler, or, you know, I mean, these people, like, they like to literally murder the hell out of the people, so the people will be subservient and understand, I'm the one who's going to kill you when I want to kill you. Now that solidifies my power and dominion over this. Like a territorial dog that has to pee all over every single mailbox that goes by. I've actually seen dogs that will pee on every single mailbox in the neighborhood, every single one. And it's just a primitive, you know, like mind state of territorial, boom, 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 you know. Like sometimes when they go out into the Congo and they encounter gorillas, the gorillas will literally rush by them and they'll, and they'll beat on their chest and they'll be like, just stand still, you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to run by you, don't make any sudden moves, it's just going to beat on its chest and run by you several times. So then you made it feel like it was in control. You see what I'm saying? And that's how these people are. They're just primitive apes. And, you know, they can't understand, you know, the age of technology that we're in. They can't understand that every year and a half, technology doubles. So, like, if you take a penny and you double it 30 times, you've got millions and millions of dollars. Tens of millions of dollars. And if you double that 30 times, I mean, let's needless to say, it's probably going to be in the trillions or octillions of dollars. Okay? So that's how technology works. We're, you know, our technological advance has gone just up. You know, it was like this for, you know, every 1,000 years or so it would double, so we're going like this, and now it's just whoosh. And it's like, okay, now it's time to stop usurpation. And we've got something right here that's called the pinnacle of human creation, and it's time to observe that and recognize and respect it and not be an idiot. You know, if your skull was just nothing but bone and there was a little peanut piece of flesh inside that was considered brain, I might be able to deal with it. This is just... I just don't know. I mean, it's like, man. I just want to just hate somebody so bad right now. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say for now. I hope you learned something, but especially I hope that you learned something in terms of, you know, who's really in control here. Here's my main point. I mean, let's look at also with Nazi Germany. IBM numbered all the Jewish exterminatees, okay, that's what you can call them. United States Standard Oil, a Rockefeller organization, provided the gas necessary to gas to death the Jewish in Nazi Germany, exterminated. Okay, United States Standard Oil, subsidiary of London, provided the gas to Japan to bomb London. Okay. So basically, here's my main point. We're fighting the same. Here's my main point of oh my God. This is the kind of shit I'm going through. And it's like, look at the wallpaper here. Kitties and puppies. This is like a third world country. It's like here I am in a third world country. I've been abducted. I've been displaced. Now I'm in like this 100-year-old house with kitties and puppies and just like third world country type of situation. Yeah, third world country. We got more people in prison in this country than anywhere in the world. We don't even deserve to be called anything special, period, other than a cesspit. And another thing, we're up against the same things, okay? You understand what I'm saying? I want to produce the evidence to some of you people out there who at least believe in 1776, who at least, because most people out there are so oblivious and so just gone that, I mean, emotionally, mentally, everything, that they're like, well, at least we fought the Queen of England in 1776, now we're free. Like, that's it. Okay? And so, I mean, at least I'm just trying to get it through to you. If that's what it takes, we're up against the Queen of England, okay? We're up against the monarchy. The same one we fought for. The same one we fought against, I mean. In 1776, people shed blood, died. Okay, we're not supposed to be putting up with that from them. You understand that? I hope you do understand exactly what I'm trying to say.